My marriage between my husband is really between me and God, not between me and the government. But this was absolutely unnecessary. They have attacked our institutions. They have weakened the nuclear family and undermined masculinity and even femininity.
Lauren Boebo's husband whipped out his penis in the middle of a bar to show a 17-year-old his penis tattoo. Lauren Boebert was dating him at the time, and he was at said bar with her stepfather. Is that what masculinity is, Lauren? Is that the sacred bond and relationship you're referring to here? Now, what she was talking about in that video featuring Charlie Kirk was the fact that some Republican lawmakers voted in favor of codifying same-sex marriage, probably because over 70% of Americans support letting people marry who they want to marry. It's none of your freaking business. The government shouldn't get involved, or the government shouldn't prevent people from getting married, right? And look, the reason why it matters is because no, marriage is not just between you, your partner, and God. It's not. When you're married, there are certain benefits like tax benefits, the ability to see your partner in the hospital when he or she is sick, the ability to collect the retirement benefits of your spouse after they pass away. Obviously, just like the origin of marriage itself, there's a whole business component, like it's a business agreement almost. There's a whole financial component and element to it that for the longest time, heterosexual couples got to enjoy and same-sex couples were denied. So it's not just about you and your God. It's obviously about more than that. Yeah. And if it's just about you and your God, then you guys should have your own little sacred bond without getting the government involved at all. Why didn't you do that? Why did they do a legal marriage where they get to reap the benefits of a heterosexual marriage?
Yeah, why would you supplicate yourself before the big government and all that? Yeah, look, I agree with you there. I disagree with you about the earlier stuff. I mean, what is more masculine than an exposed penis in a bowling alley, I think. And then to do it with the dad there, that's a dominance move, another masculine characteristic. It's in an arena for sports. Very masculine. I think that's a great core for a relationship, a bond between you, your exposed penis, your wife, God, and the guy who's re-racking the pins. I think that's what every marriage should have. It's the four cores of a marriage. No, you can have whatever dumb relationship you want, Lauren Boebert. I really don't care. Other people deserve the legal recognition as well. I don't care about the religious part of it. I doubt a lot of those couples do. If they do, fine, you can do whatever. I got married by my buddy Quay, who's a psychologist, and he was cosplaying a Meister from the Game of Thrones. Do you think I care about the religious component of this?
See, this is the problem. This is the problem with America's falling apart because of that, John. Because Quay married you, okay? Because he's a psychology professor and he's destroying the nuclear family. Yeah, it's Quay's fault.
Exactly.
And I'm glad that we have such a righteous woman who has such great values to judge everyone else's relationship and everyone else's comfort level with and identification with masculinity. Because we can't have masculinity unless it's specifically defined in the way that Lauren Boebert wants to define it. Anyway, trash. But what's amazing is, this is, again, gay marriage, they are focused on dismantling it, destroying it, because that's all the Republican Party has. That's all they can sell to their voters. And what's really fascinating about them is, yes, there's a lot of hypocrisy. They have no problem using these culture war issues to accumulate political power. And really, there's about 30% of the country that is attracted to this kind of policy. But they're also the individuals who show up to vote religiously, okay? And that's who she's pandering to. And they're not worried about the ramifications on ordinary people. They're not worried about how hypocritical they are. And in fact, I want to go to another hypocrite, a congressman by the name of Glenn Thompson from Pennsylvania, who was not one of the Republicans who voted in favor of codifying Roe. In fact, he voted against it. And then 3 days later, what did he do? He went to his son's same-sex marriage wedding 3 days later and gave a speech So
denouncing it?
No,
I'm assuming?
No. So on July 19, Thompson joined 156 other Republican House members in opposing the Respect for Marriage Act. Congressional Democrats are pushing the legislation in response to the Supreme Court last month overturning Roe v. Wade. In a statement, Thompson's press secretary, Madison Stone, said this: Congressman and Mrs. Thompson were thrilled. They were thrilled to attend and celebrate their son's marriage on Friday night as he began this new chapter in life. The Thompsons are very happy to welcome their new son-in-law into their family. Oh, that's fascinating. So what about the speech Thompson gave during his son's same-sex wedding that, if Thompson really had his way, he would have prevented from happening in the first place, right? What kind of speech did he give? Let's listen to it.
As parents, we love it when we find our one true love, especially when they become a part of our families then, right? That's what we're rooting for. We've been fortunate with 3 sons and done a great job of adding to the family.
So someone recorded that. I don't know what prompted them to do it. I'm glad they did. But John, yeah, they're hypocrites, because what they do in destroying the freedoms of ordinary people isn't necessarily what their own family members will experience, isn't necessarily what they themselves will experience, right? So even if he had his way and same-sex marriage was banned again in this country, he probably has calculated, well, my son will be okay.
Yeah, no, they probably have some money. Look, the hypocrisy comes in a lot of different forms. I know we've known politicians in the past that have been like super against this sort of thing, and then they find out that they have a family member and suddenly they have this great awakening, which is like a form of compassion, but it's such a belated, specific form of compassion that it almost seems like empathy's dark mirror. But at least those people seem to be genuine. With this guy, I don't know which would be worse. If he's like trying in his own family to have some compassion, he still loves his kid, which is preferable to what a lot of guys like him do, which is banish the kid from the family. So this is better than that. And yet he would strip away the rights of so many millions of other people. Or if honestly, this speech reflects how he feels and his relationship towards his son is everything that it seems to be, and he doesn't really give a damn about stripping away these rights, but he knows that he's a Republican and he knows what they want. And so he would pretend that he wants to strip away the rights to satisfy the dark, cruel desires of straight, generally white conservatives. Like that, I think it's more realistic. I think that's more likely to be true. It's also far crueler.
I just think what we've seen from lawmakers in this country, and in this context, certainly Republican lawmakers like Thompson, is that they will always put their personal interests, whether it be profits, whether it be power accumulation, above the best interests of people, including members of their own family.
Yeah.
The Family Values Party has proven to us so many times that they don't value families. They don't even value their own. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He doesn't even value his own family. Can you freaking imagine, having a congressman father who votes against what you're about to do, something that's supposed to be a beautiful moment in your life, in marrying your partner, but since it's a same-sex marriage, your father wants to basically destroy your opportunity to do it. Maybe he'll be okay. If you're the son of a congressman, I'm sure you have some connections. I'm sure there's some money in the family. You're not gonna deal with what most other people would deal with if those freedoms are dismantled. But it's unbelievable to me how the way this system is set up incentivizes the worst people to serve as public servants.
Yeah.
They just serve themselves because they're incentivized to do it. It attracts the worst people. It is the system that attracts the worst people. Yeah. Because getting into Congress means, hey, you've got an opportunity to cash in both while you're in Congress and after you leave Congress.
For the rest of your life.
It's gross, it really is.